Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it is time for the first impressions video of the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. A few disclaimers here at the very beginning of the video. The game's in beta. The beta's been out for 1 day, but we finally got our hands on the game's multiplayer. We finally got to see some of the multiplayer maps, the multiplayer weapons, weapon progression, the new perk system. Everything from a fundamental level is in this beta. Of course, we don't have all the tools and gadgets. We don't have all the guns, all the maps, all the perks, and whatever. But from a core perspective, Modern Warfare 2's beta definitely gives us an idea of what the game is going to be like. And of course, it's a beta. Things are going to change before the full launch in October, and then it's going to be a 2-year game after that. So by the time we're a year into this game, things from the beta may just be completely irrelevant. Things are definitely going to change, but these are going to be my first impressions. Take them as such. Does the game suck? It's right there in the title. It's right there in the thumbnail. Does the game suck? Well, kind of, actually. It's different. I don't think it's actually all that bad, but it's definitely not like the most mind-blowing, like, holy shit, this is so amazing, that you may get from other games out there, right? My first couple matches on the game, I'm like, okay, I see what they're going for here. And then the more you play, the more you get a feel for things. You're like, well, I can see what they're going for, but there's so many really odd design choices here, which is going to be the focus of this video. The design philosophy at Infinity Ward is something that I have been arguing against for years, and they're kind of doubling down on a lot of those ideas here within Modern Warfare 2. So if you didn't enjoy Modern Warfare 2019 for any number of reasons, a lot of those reasons may still be present here in this game. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. First things first, we wear cinder blocks for boots. That is what we have right here. One of the biggest things about this game, and obviously things can change, but you are so loud in this game, man. Like, I can't hear myself think when I'm running. It's that ridiculous. Like, you're trying to run from A to B, it's just boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna put, this is actual audio, by the way, I'm putting in the video. I didn't like doctor that at all. Like, you are loud. And of course, Infinity Ward being Infinity Ward, dead silence is not a perk. It's a field upgrade that you can't even unlock. You have to wait until like level 30, which I don't even think is possible during weekend 1 of the beta. So as a result, everyone hears everybody. You are rewarded for staying still and just listening for footsteps, or being tactical and adapting, like some people like to say, and you are punished for rushing. That's the very nature of the situation. You call it what it is. You're rewarded for camping, you're punished for rushing, because there's no way to make yourself quiet outside of having that dead silence field upgrade, which is only available for a short period of time. Mechanically, dead silence works the same way in this game as it did Modern Warfare 2019, but that's like one of the biggest things that took me to get used to in this game, is just how loud your footsteps are and how you can hear everybody all the time. It's a bit chaotic. Next up, we have the Minimap. This is such a weird situation. Charlie Intel revealed this on Twitter. We're not even sure if he's supposed to have revealed this, but he did. So the Minimap functions in this game the same way it did in Modern Warfare 2019, which means if you have an enemy that is firing a non-suppressed rifle, they're still not going to show up on the minimap. It doesn't matter. Back in the day, if you fired an unsuppressed weapon, you showed up on the minimap. That was a part of the game. Well, it's no longer a part of this game. It's the same as Modern Warfare 2019. But Charlie Intel did reveal that way back when, during an early reveal event where they got to play the multiplayer early and see the campaign early, he was ecstatic. He was really enjoying the game because the minimap functioned as a normal, proper minimap. And he even told the devs, he's like, this is really fun. I'm glad you guys decided to change the minimap. And the devs looked at him like, the hell are you talking about? And they realized it was a bug in the build that they had. They didn't mean for the minimap to actually work. They wanted it to be like it is currently, so they switched it around. They made it so the minimap went back to being this, which is basically, it functions to an extent, like, sure, but it's just like the one in Modern Warfare 2019. And I think for a lot of old school COD fans, we want the normal minimap back. It just, if we're already being punished for trying to move because we're just running around like a literal elephant. Like, you think She-Hulk and Hulk, like, when they're running around, like, they have nothing compared to, you know, our random operators here in this game. We are loud. And so we already have that. And now on top of that, you're not punished for like firing an unsuppressed weapon. Like, the minimap doesn't really function the way we're used to. It feels weird, man. It really does feel weird. And speaking of things feeling weird, earlier today, I made a video on the brand new perk system, and I'm going to quickly cover it here. The new perk system is fine, honestly. Like, it's weird. That's the thing. They're reinventing the wheel, and I'm wondering why, because we've seen so many different style of perk systems over the years, and a lot of them were pretty damn good. So why aren't we just going with what we know and what is already accepted as good by the COD community? To really quickly cover it here, when you make your class, you now have 2 base perks. Like, going into every single match, you only have 2 perks, right? And then throughout the match, based on how well you're doing, how much score you're getting, kills, objective play and things like that, you eventually unlock your bonus perk, which is going to be any number of these bonus perks right here. And then even further into the match, you'll eventually get your ultimate perk, which is the perks right here. These are on timer. If you do nothing, like let's say you're straight up AFK and just moving 2 feet so you don't get kicked, 4 minutes into like a team deathmatch, for example, the timer is going to keep on ticking, and eventually you'll get your bonus perk, and then 8 minutes into the match, you'll get your ultimate perk. There's always a countdown for these perks, and that countdown is accelerated by your kills, your assists, your objective play, and things like that. So it's a fine system. It makes the game feel a bit more dynamic. If you pop off during the very beginning of a match, it's kind of nice because you get in there and you already have your bonus perk. Maybe you get your ultimate perk a little bit early, and now you have a perk advantage over the other people in the lobby. I can see why they did this, but at the same time, it really limits you into what you can actually do with your character. I mean, if you go back to a game like Black Ops 2, when they introduced the Pick 10 system, you could have 6 perks if you wanted, or have no perks if you wanted. Like, you could really customize and tailor your loadout to how you want to play and what you want to do with that particular class. Whereas here, you have up to 5 attachments on your gun, and 2 perks. We're going from games where you could have 10 attachments and 6 perks to a game where you have 5 attachments and 2 perks. It feels like a step backwards in some ways, though again, I'm not against this system. It's just weird, and I don't know why they did it. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Another thing that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and this is, bear with me here, guys, the weapon unlock system. This is hard to explain. It really is. Like, I'm gonna do my best to break this down. So here we are in the custom loadout, right? We have our M4 and we have our shotgun. We're gonna have to open up the M4 in the gunsmith and then go over to progression. There's a number of these weapons that are tied to the M4. We learned about this recently. We have the FTAC Recon here. We have the FSS Hurricane, the Icarus, and then all the way up here we have the M16. So how do you get these things? Initially, you just have the M4. Then you get the FTAC Recon when you level your M4 up to weapon level 12. After that, you can get the FSS Hurricane by leveling up the FTAC Recon up to 15. Mind you, these are individual weapon levels we're talking about here. So M4, get that up to level 12. You can keep on going after that, but get that to level 12. That unlocks you this gun right here. And then once you get this gun up to level 15, that unlocks this gun right here. If we go up to this tree, the Icarus, if you get your Hurricane, which is all the way down here, if you get the Hurricane up to weapon level 17, you unlock the Icarus. And if you get your Icarus up to level 12, then you get the M16, and then once you have the M16, you can go through and unlock all the different attachments that are currently available and things. And like, it's a confusing system. Like, if I go into my create class here and I just look at the different weapons that are available, right? I'm like, M16, cool, I want the M16. It just says locked. It says weapon level 1 of 16, sure, but it's locked. Why can't I access this gun? It doesn't tell me. The only way to figure this out is to equip the M4. All right, just go in there and then go to the gunsmith, then go to progression, then hit X to see the track, and then find the M16, which is up here, which you had no idea was even there, because look at this UI. What are we doing here? Like, it's so confusing. And then other things, like little quirks about the beta, you know, for example, you unlock the 74U. You can't level it up. It's 1 of 1. You can't level it up because of this new system that we have here with the weapons, where every gun can kind of branch off and become other weapons. Because of that, we're very limited in our progression here in the beta. The only gun that we can really level up right now is the M4. I think there might be a couple of other ones as well. Yeah, the Lockman. It looks like the higher up we level up, we might be able to get the Lockman rifle, and then now turn into the Lockman SMG at some point, I believe. The Expedite 12 is ridiculously fun to use, but yeah, it's a very confusing system, man. It is an incredibly confusing system, and again, it goes back to the idea of the perks. They're reinventing the wheel, and why? You know what I mean? And there's always the arguments on both sides. People will say things like, this is just Modern Warfare 2019.5, you know, it's literally the same game. And to avoid stuff like that, to avoid those asshats who just can't leave well enough alone, they have to go out there and reinvent the weapon unlock system just so people say it's not the same game, regardless of the fact that they're still just going to say it's the exact same game, it's a reskin, you know what I mean? It's such a catch-22. The developers, I really don't think, can win here. I will give them credit for trying something different. I actually do think it's kind of interesting that if you just swap out the receiver on an assault rifle, that it can now become a light machine gun or a battle rifle or whatever. It's interesting for sure. I want to see how this system develops. Obviously, they have like a vision over there at Infinity Ward where they have an idea of what they're wanting to do. But holy heck, man, it's confusing. This beta is a lot to take in. And can we adapt to it? Can we do the old Modern Warfare 2019 adapt? Of course, yeah. I mean, when I play the game, I'll say this, right? When I play the game, I do find it fun. And you could argue, and again, full like disclosure here, this is the honeymoon phase. The beta just came out today. I have a couple of hours under my belt, and obviously I'm a COD fan, so whenever I play a new COD, regardless of how it turns out, I tend to have fun at the very beginning. It feels good that first time you go on a 10 kill streak. It feels good if you get a 15 kill streak. You call in your care package. The first care package I called in, I got the advanced UAV. That felt good. You know, things like that. Like, the game feels nice. I would say the multiplayer maps as well. They discussed it during Call of Duty Next. They said that these 6v6 multiplayer maps are a lot more streamlined and a lot more fleshed out, and I actually think that's true. I think the multiplayer maps here are better than the maps we saw during Modern Warfare 2019. I've seen a number of people complaining about the museum map because the museum just has way too many save spaces, but we can't really play the museum map. You're seeing some footage of it right here. This is why, and if you're photosensitive, I don't think this would hurt, but if you're photosensitive, this might become an issue. Sorry. But yeah, there's like little flashes, like when you go near the lights on that map, it's bugged out. So they got rid of that map. They added, I forget the name of the other map. It's a hotel, I believe. And so now we have that map to play as well, but they got rid of the museum. The map set in ye old Mexico. I really like that map. I don't remember the name of it. And then obviously Farm 18 is there. Farm 18 is either really fun or really not fun because it's pretty small, pretty close quarters, and spawn trapping is definitely an issue. But overall, I don't hate the maps. You know, when we started playing the Modern Warfare 2019 beta, I'm like, what is this nonsense? Because they built the game from the ground up to have save spaces and, you know, things like that. Well, this game seems to be a bit different in terms of map design. That's cool. Weapon balance seems fine. It's early, and basically everyone is just using an M4 or a variation of the M4 because that's the only gun we can really level up and do things with. So weapon balance seems okay so far, but we'll have to wait and see how things are going to play out. Overall, the game feels good. There's a number of things I want to change, like the stupid map zoom in every single time you die. Like, why do we have to bring that back? And then the idea of Last Stand as an ultimate perk. Like, why do we have that? Like, who wanted Last Stand where you can self-revive, return to the COD multiplayer? It doesn't make sense. It fundamentally does not make sense to me. But, you know, again, they're really... I feel like Infinity Ward is doing what they did with Call of Duty Ghosts, and some of you are going to disagree with me on this, but when COD Ghosts came out, that's when they first branched away from the original Modern Warfare trilogy, and they didn't want to just make Modern Warfare 4, they wanted Ghosts to have its own identity, they wanted it to feel unique, right? So they had the Levolution, they got rid of the UAV, they added the SATCOM, that goofy-ass prestige system that they had, which at this point, just give me some prestige system, Infinity Ward, for crying out loud. But back then, they tried a bunch of stuff. The way I describe it is they threw a lot of shit at the wall, and they wanted to see what stuck. And a lot of the ideas they had were pretty shit, ironically enough. But also, some of those ideas are pretty good. They stuck right there, and it was like, you know what? We're going to take that piece of shit. That's a good idea. We should put that in COD games going forward. So I feel like they're doing this with Modern Warfare 2 as well. They're trying a lot of new things here. Will it pay off? We don't know. We do know that Modern Warfare 2 is a 2-year game. This is Activision's gambling chip. If this game does not succeed and just run wild, then the COD franchise is in trouble, especially with the negative feedback that Warzone 2 got yesterday during the reveal. So we're going to have to wait and see, guys. We're going to have to wait and see how things are going to play out. But for right now, those are my first impressions of the Modern Warfare 2 beta. Of course, I will continue to keep you guys posted and continue to make videos every single day as I do. And I'll continue to play the game and unlock things and try things out and just really try to get a feel for it. Mind you, going into this, I wanted to have like the most pure Modern Warfare 2 experience. I didn't stream the game. I didn't play in Discord with my friends or anything like that. I just played by myself, trying to enjoy the game without any outside factors. You know, sometimes like you play with your friends and your one friend gets angry, therefore no one's allowed to have a good time because they just keep yelling every single time they die and complaining, and it puts everyone in a sour mood. I didn't want that, right? When it comes to streaming, I haven't streamed in a while, but, you know, when you're streaming, it's really hard to get immersed and really learn things and, like, really get into the minutia of the game when you're focused on chat. You know what I mean? So, like, I went into this just by myself, solo, and I enjoy the game for the most part, but we're also in the honeymoon phase, and there are so many questions that this beta is posing right now, and we'll have to see if Infinity Ward has the answers. But guys, that's it for this video here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback on the Modern Warfare 2 beta down there in the comment section below. What do you like? What do you dislike? I would definitely be interested to read about that. Be sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, and I hope you guys all Have a wonderful day.